So today we have a 2017 Dodge Charger Daytona 392. This car is very loud, but thanks to my parents, I'm able to review it. So this is my parents' daily driver. This car I think has around 30,000 miles or so. It's in very good condition. It's just dirty right now because of the winter here. But yeah, so since it's a Daytona 392, it has the 6.4 liter V8, which makes 485 horsepower and 485 pound-feet of torque. It has the 8-speed auto, and all the power is going to the rear wheels. In the front, we have the 6-piston Brembos, and in the rear, we have the 4-piston Brembos. This car stops very, very well, trust me. But this car just sounds so good. This car is completely stock except for the front stow and show plate, which is basically a non-drill plate accessory that you can get from Stow and Show. And then I think my parents at some point painted the brake calipers yellow, because I think they came from the factory as black. I know they decided to keep on the front guards, not my favorite, but hey, they like it and that's what matters. So it matches the brakes and the interior, which is pretty cool, and it saves it from scraping on our driveway since this car is pretty low. Factory suspension as well, and this car sits very nice. I'd say in the rear it could use lowering springs or something because the wheel gap's a little much, but it's fine. It looks good. This car is running the 275/40/20 Pirelli all-season tires. I'm gonna be honest, this car breaks traction a lot, but it corners amazing. Move on to the interior here. Really nice Alcantara bucket seats. They hold you in really well, but they're really comfortable. They have leather on the sides and whatnot. Nice leather on the door panel and whatnot. This is a little like rubber material. It's not the nicest, but hey, it works. Who cares? You have all this power. That's what it's meant for. So I'll plug in my phone here. This is the 8.4-inch Uconnect system. I love this system. Very fast, very responsive. It has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, wired since it's a 2017. You have your digital cluster here in the middle, and then you have 2 analog tachometer and speedometer, which is really nice. This car is just so loud from factory. It's crazy. But this car has the Super Track Pack, performance pages, everything you want. Heated seats, cooled seats, heated steering wheel, back seat is very, very big. There's tons of legroom back there. Tons of visibility around the cabin. This one is equipped with the sunroof as well. So, yeah. Other than that, let's get on with the drive. This is, ironically, the car I learned to drive on. Because, for some reason, my parents trusted me with a 400 horsepower muscle car. But, yeah, that was interesting. So let's get on with it. This heated steering wheel is so nice, and these heated seats are amazing. Love it. Steering is very nice and light, but it's still very, very communicative, and it's heavy enough. This is electric power steering, but it gives you all the feedback you need. Right now it's in its comfort mode, but you have adjustable modes. You can go from comfort, normal, or sport. Give it a little acceleration here. Oh my gosh. I was barely on the throttle, maybe less than 10%, and the rears were just lighting up. That is crazy. This car currently averages 14 miles per gallon. I'm gonna be honest, in the last couple of days I've been driving it. I've been driving a little spiritedly. But when my parents drive it, they average about 16 or so in the city. And when we took it on a long road trip down to my brother's college, we got about 24 miles per gallon on the highway. So this thing is pretty efficient for a 6.4 liter V8. I'll tell you right now, it's way more efficient than my Durango, which has the 5.7 liter V8. This has a 4-cylinder mode, so if I'm cruising, see, it shuts off 4 of the cylinders. So that's another fuel-saving method. Road insulation is very good. Very, very comfy car to cruise in. Even though it has like the sport suspension, it soaks up bumps. Yes, you'll still feel certain things in the road, but it honestly is a very, very comfy riding car. This does not have the adaptive dampers, so there's no adjustability there. However, the suspension is tuned very good from factory. Again, I didn't even hit 15% throttle. Like, I was just barely rolling into it. Another thing I forgot to mention, this car is equipped with a pedal commander that my parents put in. Right now I have it turned off for the video, that way we can feel how it is with OEM throttle tuning. But I'll tell you, the throttle is very sensitive, so you have to be careful, otherwise you'll light those rears up. So for an unexperienced driver, isn't used to high power rear-wheel drive cars, this can be dangerous. So you need to be careful if you're planning on buying this. As I'm coming up to a stop here, the brakes are amazing. Those 6-piston Brembos in the front are putting in work. The bite point is very nice and progressive, but there's a lot of initial bite, so you have to be careful when modulating those brakes, otherwise you will throw you and your passengers forward a little bit. It does take a little while to get used to. I know when my parents first let me drive this car, I was definitely throwing myself through the windshield a couple of times with those brakes. They're very sensitive. This car also has the Beats stereo, which is, I think it's like a 9 or 10 speaker system. I have no clue, to be honest. But I do know it has the subwoofer in the trunk, and this system sounds amazing. If you're getting a Charger, you need the Beats audio. Harman Kardon in the newer year Chargers, not as good. It's not as much bass, and I feel like it doesn't sound as good. So I love this system. So we'll open up Super Track Pack here and I'll show you. So you can do launch control. There's sport mode set up and a drive mode or a default mode set up. Right now I'm in like a normal mode, which I set up to have comfort steering, and I forgot what else that has in it, to be honest. We'll take a look here. So yeah, in my default mode, I have the paddles on so I can click them, and whenever I want there, I can use them. Steering is in comfort, traction is in normal, and engine and transmission is in normal. I know sport mode, I have all of that set to sport, so it's in its most aggressive setting. We'll try out sport mode here in a sec. I'll tell you, this transmission is very good, very, very quick. It is on the same level of a dual clutch, in my opinion. Very good over those bumps. Brake modulation is amazing. Love these brakes. I know people say these cars are boats, and yes, they are heavy. I know this one weighs, I think, close to 4,400 pounds, somewhere around there. However, the power makes up for it, and the handling, I'll tell you, this Daytona handles extremely well for its size and weight. I'm pretty sure this is considered a full-size sedan, so for it to handle as well as I've experienced, it's pretty crazy to me. I'll show you guys handling in up-and-coming road that I'm about to turn on to. We'll actually change it into sport mode here. So this turns traction into sport. Doesn't turn it completely off, because trust me, you do not want to turn traction completely off in this car. No, no, no. So yeah, sport mode setup, everything sport, except for steering. I had the steering in normal, because I find that when the steering is in sport, it is too heavy for my liking. But I mean, it's personal opinion. I have great visibility in this cabin as well. This car comes with blind spot monitoring, so it's way easier to check your blind spots that way, even though your blind spots aren't that bad in this. And this car does have a backup camera as well, albeit, I'm going to be honest, not the best quality, but a backup camera nonetheless. so your throttle gets way more sensitive when you're put in sport mode. You get a little bit of burbles from the exhaust, which is pretty cool. And it holds your gears a little more aggressively. And it definitely downshifts way more aggressive too. Steering is a little firmer, handles so flat around this corner. There is a little bit of body roll, but it's so minor that it's unnoticeable, honestly. We'll try out the paddles here, put it in manual mode. So when you downshift, it automatically rev matches for you. Oh, it sounds so good. It's a lot of engine braking too. Wow. Again, I was barely on the throttle. I haven't hit 50% at all. And the torque is just crazy. Those downshifts. Oh my gosh. This is one of my favorite cars. Oh my gosh. Those upshifts are as close as you'll get to instant. That's incredible. That is so good. I'm telling you, this is a bargain. I'm pretty sure this car, brand new in 2017, last time I checked the window sticker, was about $52,000. This car is pretty much every option you can get for the Daytona back then. And for $52,000, this is a crazy, crazy value. You can't get a better muscle sedan for that price. This car is so quick that you can barely use any of its power on the street. Otherwise, you're just into the triple digits and the illegal stuff. That's crazy. Those downshifts are amazing. But man, I love this car. This car is crazy. But yeah, that'll be my review of this Daytona. Thank you guys for watching, and